Well, hey there, boys and girls, ladies and gents, theys and theirs. This is Tara Shapansky from the Polish-American Brotherhood and Adam Francisco from Be Free My Sheeple. And you're listening to the T&A Show, the Tara and Adam Show. Well, hey there.
All right, here we go. Fade to black. Let's get my beautiful face on camera. There we are. Wow, that was a nice fade, Tara. Thank you so much.
Trying out.
Welcome back, guys, to the T&A Show. And today is a very special episode because we have our first guest in studio, the wonderful Asia Bella. Hello. So before I get into the introduction, I just wanted to explain real quick how I met her. I was doing one of my street interviews in downtown Orlando. You guys can go to my TikTok and find it. The video is doing pretty well, almost 20,000 views. And we spoke, we had a great conversation, and I wanted to bring her in so that we could continue that conversation here in studio. So Asia, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, my name is Asia Bella.
Nice to meet you. So tell me, what do you do with your life? You were telling me you got like a food truck.
Yeah, so currently I have a food truck. It's been about 7 months since I officially been an owner of a food truck. I just jumped out of faith. It's called Chill Will's Fry Baby. I like cooking, so that's why I thought, you know.
And I got to say, the food looks pretty damn good. Tara, I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at her Instagram, but food.
Yeah, I have to
not
one
yet.
day bring you guys some food.
Absolutely. We're all foodies in here, so definitely love it.
And Tara's Filipino, so I know fried food is kind of a big staple in Filipino culture.
It is
Yeah,
for sure.
I think, yeah.
And the name of your business, Chill Will's, that's named after your father, who's no longer with us?
Yeah, my dad. I had to incorporate his name. He's no longer with me, so it's just, you know, something that I had to do. And the fried food came from my dad. Like, he made the best fried chicken, fried whatever. Like, my father just could fry some freaking food. So I was just like, you know, I got to incorporate my dad and, you know, keep his name alive and stuff.
That's
and
awesome.
People ask me, you know, have the story behind it.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. And of course, we also have Grayson Arnold from Pure Politics here as our guest. We've been lovingly calling him Little G.
I'm a co-host now in a way.
Co-host, guest, superstar. Yeah. How you doing, Little G?
Pretty good.
It's good to see you here. I heard a rumor, Grace, that you went viral today on Joe Rogan. Is that true? Do you know if that's been confirmed?
We're going to have to see. The Joe Rogan episode was censored on YouTube for a copyright strike, but they are playing Ray Epps clips and probably played one of my clips with Ray Epps, so we'll see.
That's pretty damn cool. You know who Joe Rogan is, the podcaster? So he's one of the he actually is officially the biggest podcaster in the world. And apparently they used one of his clips on his show today.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. That'll
great.
give him some huge,
that's huge.
Huge visibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So in terms of being a star, you are a bit of a star yourself. You're a music artist.
Yes, I'm a music artist. Yes, R&B and rap. So I have two sides of me. I have a singer side, and then I have the thorough rapper side.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Hey, Tara, go pull up my screen. We're going to pull up just one of her videos to start, just so that people could see that she's a legit music artist, which is so cool. So this is your song, Hard Way.
Yes, that's Hard Way.
So who does the production? Do you do everything, or do you have a team?
This production was done by Mac. His name is Mac, and the actual video was done by Beatdown.
And what's cool is this car featured in the video is actually in our driveway right now, parked outside.
It is. It's mine. It's definitely mine.
That's freaking dope. That is so dope. That's awesome. So it's so cool to have a little celebrity on our show. Thanks for being here again. So I wanted to talk about, let's pull this off. We'll pull it back at the end. So I wanted to talk because when we met on the street, you were telling me that the biggest issue in America today is the media.
Yeah.
You were saying that.
See a lot.
Yeah. So what do you think is wrong with the media in your opinion?
I just think we see a lot, so we think that this world is so bad, but this is something that's been going on since before our time. So everybody gravitates to, oh my gosh, all this crime that's going on, all the it's negative. It's a lot of negativity. So that's what people gravitate to, and it messes with us mentally, you know?
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. They call it, I think one of the terms they use is like rage bait or clickbait sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they know that rage sells. When you can sell rage and get clicks, that's how these companies are going to make money. So that's kind of what they're operating on. And, you know, one thing that we spoke about, I think, was the fake news in general. How the news tends to lie.
Yeah.
And the one person that they've lied about more than anything in the world is your friend Trump.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you were telling me your aunt or your grandma
My grandma calls Trump my friend. He is my friend.
Oh, that's hilarious. Why did she call him your friend?
Because one day when I'm originally from New York, so I visited my grandmother in New York.
Oh, you're a New Yorker.
And, yeah. She asked me, she was like, are you who you better be voting for, I think at this time it was like Hillary or something.
Oh, God.
Yeah. She said, you better be voting for Hillary or whatever. I don't know. And I said, no, I'm not. She said, why? I said, because Grandma, I'm a Republican. She almost caught a stroke.
Wow.
Yeah, she was just like, huh? So ever since then, she knows I'm a Republican. And then after I told her I would vote for Trump, and she calls him my friend now. Look what your friend did. Did you see what your friend said? I was like, okay, Grandma.
My mom's the same way. She'll call Trump my friend and be like, oh, did you see what your friend did?
Oh, my God.
But now it's like kicking my grandmother in the behind now with Joe Biden being in office and all the things that were promised. She's just like disappointed. She's disappointed. I could see. I'm like, oh, your friend Joe Biden. Like, what happened?
I love that.
She thought it was going to be so much. Whatever her beliefs were in the Democrat Party, like, she's definitely disappointed now.
So I got to ask, since you're a New Yorker, what part of New York are you from?
Oh, I was born in Brooklyn, but I'm originally from Staten Island.
Oh, Staten Island, the forgotten borough.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're making a lot of things happen now, though.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, Staten Island actually is pretty red, from my understanding. There's a lot of Trump flags down there in Staten Island.
They had a lot of protests that were going on in Staten Island, especially like at Mac's Public House.
Staten Island's based.
One of the restaurants that was pushing back against the mandates.
That's right. Oh, okay. So I'm a New Yorker too, and I grew up surrounded by liberals and Democrats. So I was a liberal Democrat my whole life. Really? I was actually going to vote for Hillary Clinton in 2016 because I was uninformed and I was just told you got to vote for the Democrats. So what is it that made you Republican? Because to me, to be a Republican from New York back then was kind of rare. So 2016, you voted for Trump?
Yeah.
So what makes you a Republican? Like what values do you find in the party?
I'm gonna be honest. Me being a Republican, it isn't based on. It's based on history from the past. So it goes back to the civil rights, and that's what made me a Republican. I mean, the 13th Amendment, 14th Amendment, 15th was supported by Republicans for ending slavery. The 13th Amendment ended slavery, right? The 14th was for black men to vote. And then the 15th was what was the 15th Amendment?
Grayson?
I'm just going to look it up right now.
The 15th Amendment that citizenship for black men. I think it was citizenship. I think I'm correct on that. So it just goes back to, my dad is African American, and I think about stuff like that, and it's just like I don't think that the Democrat Party was for us, as me being a black woman. So that's why I stand by the Republican side because of the history.
Hey, I mean, those are great reasons. Joe Biden went viral yesterday once again, or 2 days ago. He did a speech about voting rights. And he literally, this is Joe Biden's quote. Do you want to be on the side of Dr. Martin Luther King or George Wallace? Do you want to be on the side of John Lewis or Bull Connor? Do you want to be on the side of Abraham Lincoln or Jefferson Davis? He was trying to make a point about voting rights. But what he forgot to mention was that everybody that he said was on the right side of history was Republicans.
Was Republicans. Yeah.
So Joe Biden is kind of, it just goes to show how uninformed this guy is, but also the history of Republicans, as you're right. They always tended to fight for civil rights and everything. So right now, the way it stands, I believe 90% of black voters vote for Democrats. How do you think we can change that? Because even Joe Biden himself said, if you vote for Trump, you ain't black. We all know that he said that.
That was just ignorant. That was just, that rubbed me the wrong way when I seen that. Once again, I think black voters have to really know the history and what's going on. I think what happens is people go based on what's going on right now, who has the best talk game, or who's going to make the promises that weren't made by Joe Biden, you know? So they go off of that, but really it's just like I'm the type that I have to go by history and facts and what's for my culture. So
what are some of do you feel are the biggest like misconceptions like within the black community for Democrats and Republicans?
Well, for one, this is what I go through. So I say at my place of business, when I have someone a white person walk in, they're like, yeah, they assume I'm not a Republican because of my race, you know? So a lot of people, I think a lot of Democrats think that Republicans are racist and it's just only white people. That's another like bad conception. That's not true. I guess that's why it's like really cool too that you have me here representing, you know, the Republican side.
Is there a racial component that you see of people who think that the Republicans are racist? Is it mostly white people this is coming from, or do you see it from a lot of different types of backgrounds?
Different types of backgrounds. I do see it, but I've seen from different backgrounds. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that they've labeled all of us racists, and you know they do it all the time to him. Grayson Arnold, he's actually been described online. If you type his name in.
Oh gosh, yeah, they're gonna Google my name.
Yeah, let's do it right now. Let's do it. You know what? Let's just do it on
like the lead man of the KKK.
Yeah, basically.
No, you know you're laughing, right? You're laughing.
Is that true?
And yet,
they call me a bunch of stuff.
You're surrounded by diversity.
Yeah, this is like Captain.
This is your daily life.
Pull this up, Tara. Pull the iPad up.
This is your daily life, surrounded with me and Adam.
You ready for this? I just typed his name into Google.
Oops, wrong iPad.
No.
It's okay. It's okay. Here we go. You ready? I typed his name in. Second article. This is on CNN. Top Oregon RNC official says he was unaware of pro-Nazi host and white national activist they discussed during YouTube chat.
And
there's our boy on the right.
Yep.
And interviewing an Asian American.
He's actually a Chinese immigrant who knows a lot about communist oppression. And I guess CNN did not want me talking to this person. But it's also like what Joe Biden was saying. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And I gotta say, welcome to the brotherhood, Asia.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's funny as hell. So at one point in his career on Twitter, Grayson had put up a meme where it involved imagery of Nazi Germany, and it was a complete facetious joke done by a very famous political artist. What's that guy's name?
Not an artist. It's from the French publication Charlie Hebdo. Charlie Hebdo.
It's a very famous, and they poke fun at all types of religions and everything like that. And ever since then, the media has had their sights on this guy. And let me show another article right here. Trump-backed Arizona governor for candidate cozied up to Hitler fanboy. So when you said that as a joke, calling him...
It was for real.
This is what they do. This is what they do.
They want to slander. They want to slander voices.
Yeah, the media is fake.
Very.
GOP lawmakers will appear alongside
brainwash.
White nationalists, Nazi apologists.
Is what happens is once you label a person and get their reputation tarnished like that, nobody's going to listen to you. That like when if you make a woman appear insane, nobody's going to listen to her voice anymore. It's a way of stripping away our opinions, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep. All right, we can take this iPad off. So he's been a target of it. You know, just on a different stream.
Well, I assure you, he's not a racist. Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, look at the live stream he's on. His friend that's a girl is Filipina.
Yeah, there's no way he's a racist.
You're a black Native American mix, right?
Native American, Arabic, and Puerto Rican.
Yeah, and I'm a Mexican Jew.
Yeah.
And so I think that if he was those things, he definitely would not be on this podcast specifically.
No, not at all.
I'm ambiguously white. That's what I am.
Exactly, and that I guess today makes you a threat in our society.
And they come after me calling me a neo-Nazi also, and I'm Polish.
Yep. So let me ask you a question, Asia. Have you ever heard of the OK hand symbol being used by white supremacists?
No, what is that? No.
So Grayson's doing it. You can pull it up on screen.
Just like that.
They're gonna
It's the OK hand symbol.
screenshot this now, and it's gonna be over all over
Asia,
Patriot.
can you do it again for the purpose of this video?
You
There
know
you go.
what
All right.
this is in the streets?
What is that?
This is the gang sign of blood.
So there you go, guys.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
We didn't know
I
that.
didn't even know that.
So
I'm like, oh, it's okay.
It's a gang. Oh, yeah, okay, but this is also a gang sign.
So you never knew that this was a symbol for white supremacy, apparently, right?
No, this?
Yeah.
No.
So apparently this means white supremacy. Apparently.
Get out of here.
So what happens is because it doesn't mean that, right? A lot of people on the right wing, such as Grayson or Tara, they'll do this in pictures or videos to troll the media. Because the media will then go report, can you believe this person put up a white supremacist hand sign? But it's like, it's not that, it's just an okay sign.
Yeah.
So yesterday, on a live stream 2 nights ago, we all were talking about it as an example. They screenshotted it out of context and has said that we're all white supremacists because we did the okay hand symbol. This is what the media does.
Asia's thinking to herself, what did I get myself into right now?
No, we're trying to break down the barrier.
We're
Trying to expose the left at how stupid they are, because some of the things that they say, like we're supremacists, is so stupid. Like all of us condemn that stuff.
Hand symbols vary from culture to culture, as we found out now that it's a gang sign that means blood. I mean, like this could mean skinny, and it can also mean small penis. So I mean,
that's like, remember this?
Yes.
What'd you do? Oh, that one. That's like, isn't that Italian? Is that an Italian thing? Like go after yourself?
Yeah.
You gotta do it more aggressively.
Like, food. This is like, yeah. In one culture, like this is food. Like Indian culture is like food, and then others it's like, hey.
Hey. So there you go. That's just an example of the mainstream media. And honestly, at this point, you could expect them to take some of this out of context, and
They will. That's just the way. This is the way the media is.
But you as a up and coming celebrity, right? As your TikTok grows, as your YouTube career and your music industry grows, this is something that you're going to have to be subjected to.
All right, I'm already dealing with it. So my thing is, I don't care. Once you don't care, it doesn't bother you. So for instance, like with the video we did when I met you downtown Orlando, it was so many positive comments, and then one person said, those earrings, she got Christmas trees on her ear. Like, I don't get bothered by that. I don't care. You know, it's like, it doesn't bother me. But even from my TikTok and Instagram, I get negative reviews on stuff, but I get so much positive feedback that it doesn't matter. Just people, I had some people I look like a man.
You get called transgender?
Yeah. Transgender.
You know, it's
Somebody
interesting.
called me transgender also. Like,
but there's people on the media that they look for confrontation, and they want you to argue with them. They live off of that. I'm not feeding into that. It doesn't bother me. I know I don't look like no damn man.
Tara has
somebody called me a tranny too. Two people the other night. I was like,
oh.
Tara has a smart approach. If someone on Twitter insults her but doesn't have more than 1,000 followers, she ignores them. Because she says it's not worth responding.
Okay, but if they have a lot of followers, she'll argue.
Well, because then if she engages and they engage back, that's good for her brand because it gets her more engagement, more eyeballs.
Yeah. One of the things I do, I don't, as Adam said, less than 1,000 followers, you're not worth my time. And I don't debate one-on-one. I'll debate in front of an audience because chances are the person you're debating with, you're not going to change their mind. But if there's people interested enough to be watching the conversation, then they're going to be open to the information and facts that both sides are arguing and able to make decisions for themselves.
That's a cool strategy.
So like I feel like I'm wasting my time when I'm talking one-on-one with somebody who's not going to be open-minded to be receptive to information. Yeah. So I'll only do it in front of an audience.
Now, every once in a while, when I do choose to respond back to someone that's ignorant, I need to look at that now. Yeah, if you don't got a lot of followers,
don't follow. Don't respond to them because a lot of them are also bots. A lot are bots. You know what's interesting though, Tara? Like you and Asia here are obviously two females And you guys, obviously, and you guys,
we're not transgenders.
You're not transgenders, and you guys care about your appearance, right?
Of
you have the
course.
eyelashes, the hair.
Yeah.
Tara's got the makeup on the hair. What's interesting today, though, from a social standpoint, is I've noticed that women that are born women, like you two ladies, biological women that put an emphasis on their appearance with eyelashes, hair, are now sometimes being called trans. Because if you notice, trans women usually have to overcompensate to look more female.
Oh yeah.
And so when you're a woman
Yeah.
wearing makeup, people
Doing
are
too
like, is
much,
she
yeah.
trans? Isn't that kind of crazy how transgender women have kind of commandeered? I guess if that word even makes sense here. But
I
the
think
makeup
some women
game,
are getting too lazy. That's why they're lowering the standard. I don't know. A lot of people are being a lot of low effort these days. So I think they're just being lazy.
it's true. Now, when I met you, you were on your way to getting food.
Yeah.
And you still looked amazing.
Thank you. And I was just, I live down there, so I was just coming out my house and.
But from
I
my,
looked amazing. Thank you.
But-
I don't feel like I looked amazing. That was just whatever.
well, we could all watch the TikTok and
But
see how you
thank
looked.
You should pull up the clip,
Let's
Adam.
pull up the clip. Let me, can I pull it on this pad?
Yeah.
What do I go to TikTok.com? Hold on.
Also, if you want to show just unplug your phone or unplug the
Oh, it
iPad,
has-
you can put it onto your phone.
Oh
and
yeah,
it'll do
this
the
is
same thing.
nice. Oh my God, Tara, you really made the studio so amazing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Do I have to click trust the computer? I think so.
Yes.
Okay, I just trusted it.
yes.
All right, cool. Let's pull up her account in the middle of the stream, so you guys can go follow Asia Bella, and we're going to talk about your TikTok account because I believe you've been shadow banned.
It's not showing.
It's not working.
No, it's not working. Maybe I had to plug it in before we started.
That's all right.
So it's okay. I don't know if I have TikTok on this thing. Let me check over here if we got TikTok on this thing.
No, I'm at the website. Let me
Okay.
just find my account. Adam Francisco TikTok. Oh no, I want to go to her account. Aja Bella 2, right? Aja Bella. Did you
Hey,
have
Gracie,
Aja Bella
what's
1?
up?
Is that, did you
So
have Aja
I'm
Bella
on the show
originally?
too.
Asia Bella. You had the original name, Asia Bella, and then it got deleted. Like, why do you have the number 2 here?
Oh, because someone else has
Grayson,
Someone
what do you
else
think
had it.
about women's, like, I don't know, standard when it comes to presenting themselves today?
Oh, I think that they are using the accusation of transgender as an insult because you look
too
at
much
you look-
makeup.
well, you look at transgender women and they don't look like women. They look like men dressed up as a parody of a woman. And they have this complete insult to the idea of what a woman is by thinking it's just interchangeable parts. You fake breasts, you can mutilate their genitalia. That's not what a woman is. There's like a feminine mystique there that as a man, they're never going to have. So they're using it as an insult to kind of denigrate.
So you as a man, like, do you like natural? Most men like natural that I come across. So
Of course.
do you not care for the makeup? You
I
like
think
natural?
that there is a balance between the makeup. You put on too much makeup, it looks like a clown. and I think that most men, if they truly love a woman and they have attraction to her, they're going to love her without makeup. But they also appreciate if she takes some time to put some work into her beauty when she goes out, because that's a sign of self-respect, and it's also a sign that, hey, I'm a man with a very beautiful woman. It feels good. So there's a happy medium.
To me, hygiene is more important than makeup. Hygiene. I think if a girl keeps her body hair in check, gets the mani-pedi, keeps the eyebrows on fluke, to me that means more than the makeup game. Tara, I have her account pulled up.
Did you plug the iPad back in?
I did not plug the iPad back in.
I was wondering where it was.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. Now we're plugged back in. Let's hope this works.
There we go.
Sending prayers to the internet gods. There we go. All right, guys. So this is her account on TikTok, Asia Bella. You guys can give her a follow. She's got a great page, a lot of lifestyle. Tell us about your page. What do you feature here?
My page is basically my everyday crazy life. It's for some reason it's like I attract crazy things. Like I don't know, but it's really my everyday life, and of course I incorporate my cooking too. That's something that I've been doing. That's new, but I do crazy things like pranks and stuff like that. So.
I like how you started off with a very sexy picture to draw people in, and then
That's
boom,
what I do.
food.
That's what I do. I put a nice seductive picture, and then boom, it's food, and it's working. It's working.
It's also called food porn for a reason. I see
This is
food,
food
and I'm
and-
like
yeah, this is food
salivating. I'm like, oh my god.
It's interesting though that in a way there's a subtle feminine there's a subtle feminine message here, because what you're saying is she's sexy and can cook.
Yeah.
So you're basically positioning yourself as
because
the perfect woman.
Because they say pretty girls can't cook.
Right.
Like, that's not true.
Like, they better know how to cook.
Yeah.
This is a traditional standpoint of a woman.
Yeah.
You know, a woman, you know, is beautiful and can do things like cook.
And she likes to clean and stuff like that.
Whereas today the left is trying to tell women that if you do these things, you're fulfilling the gender roles, and you know you're not being a feminist, and you should make men step up and do it. Most men don't want to do that stuff, and so when you position yourself this way, I think you make yourself very attractive for conservative men, or masculine men.
Yeah, masculine men.
Yeah.
Masculine men, like soy boys, they want to be the ones to cook and clean. The soy boys, they want to wear little.
Not necessarily.
They
true.
want to wear little maid outfits.
Let me just say, because my dad does the cooking in the family, and he will say real men do the cooking, but that's not to say my mom doesn't do the cooking too. Like as long as you know, it's like as long as it's getting done. So
I said wants to. That's the difference. Men can and should do this stuff too, because if you're in a relationship, it should be a partnership, right?
I enjoy like taking care of the person that I'm with, my significant other. It brings me joy and happiness to like make sure. And then actually that's true, like love and responsibility. It's not about like romance and lust and everything. It's actual care is what love is.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree.
And here's your Spotify page. Nice. You're on Spotify.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Spotify.
So you guys can go follow her on Spotify as well. We have a celebrity in the house. This is so cool. Our first guest is a celebrity. Spotify. Are you on iTunes also?
Me. I have iTunes as well. Yeah.
Asia
Bella.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So right now, if someone tries to follow you, they're going to get a warning. Is that true?
I believe so, because I was seeing it on your page where like an option, do you still want to follow her or not? I'm just getting violated on my TikTok. I don't know why. But just follow me. Still follow me.
Yeah, of course.
I promise
definitely.
you I'm not harmful at all.
Good.
I'm a very I have different personalities. You're gonna love my page.
Now, have you ever posted anything about COVID or the election at all? On your page?
No.
So that's so crazy that they're coming after her then. When really, I mean, I'm looking at your page here. It doesn't even seem like you're showing that much skin compared to some other pages I've seen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
And to make things even crazier, did you know that TikTok has a policy that if you identify as a trans woman, you're allowed to show your breasts, including nipple?
That's insane.
Did you know that this is a policy?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason for that. It's because TikTok is owned by the Chinese, so they're pushing self-destructive videos into the mainstream through TikTok because they know it undermines society in the long run. A lot of the stuff that you see on the main page is illegal in China on the Chinese version of TikTok.
Oh.
So maybe you're promoting, you have a sexy picture in the beginning, but you're promoting what I saw was cooking and kind of more of a traditional woman that's going to attract a positive man who's going to build up society. And for the Chinese, they can't be having that. It's for Americans.
For Americans.
Okay.
And TikTok is a Chinese-owned platform.
Meanwhile, I don't know if you heard, but China is trying to make their men more masculine. So they're trying to do things like remove feminine men from the mainstream media. Have you heard of K-pop?
No.
Korean pop music?
Oh, yeah.
So you know, like a lot of these Korean male pop stars,
Dancing stuff,
they have like the dyed hair.
Yeah.
They're very pretty. They have makeup lines. China is removing those kind of people from their mainstream because they want their men to only have masculine role models. Whereas here in the U.S., we're doing the opposite. We're trying to show men of like, we're really promoting transgender, LGBT.
Everything. Supporting everything, yeah.
Tara, pull the iPad up.
Yeah, we saw earlier also that dancing army. We'll go back to that topic in a moment.
Yeah.
Here you go, Adam.
Here it is. TikTok allows topless display by women if they say they are men. That's how they phrased it.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
A woman has been censored by TikTok after duplicating a viral trend of topless dancing by women who say they are men. The company does not curb the topless display by women who say they are transgender. There you go.
I'm surprised they even allow that. So many kids on TikTok as well. So I'm surprised. And that's why I thought maybe that's why I was getting blocked because maybe there was something that I had to check, like an acceptance for kids not to view. And maybe that's why I'm linked to having kids underage view my account. I don't know, but I don't think that's it. But
the scary part is I feel like TikTok wants kids to see that kind of content.
Yeah.
They want to see the hypersexualization and the dancing and the questionable kind that we think is questionable for kids to be seeing.
Yeah.
It just seems like TikTok really is trying to encourage that. Tara, what were you saying before we changed topics? Do you remember?
The Grayson and I were looking at earlier. There's images of like dancing armies.
Well, we saw it on Tim Pool.
Oh, okay. Because Grayson, you can talk more knowledgeably about that, but you were saying that how the Chinese army would never have these kind of depictions on social media versus like the American army is now having dance videos.
Yeah, I can't find the specific video.
So they just
but
always
you
wanna
have
look
it on
strong at this point.
Yeah.
They don't want to like they say like that's weakness.
Yep.
And yeah.
Well, yeah, what is the military for? It's about killing your enemy, basically. And when China has any sort of propaganda going out, they want their military to look extremely strong and dangerous.
Exactly.
And for some reason in America, we're having the exact opposite. We want our army to look cuddly and friendly. And that's not, you know what, you're going into World War II against the Nazis. You don't want to be known as the cuddly friendly, oh, I love LGBT and everybody. You want to be like, that guy is a murderer and I am scared for my life.
Right. Yeah. And that's why they were scared of Trump. Most countries around the world were scared of Trump's military might. You know, Trump not only strengthened our military and funded them back, but his rhetoric worked because people assumed that he would actually use it if he needed to. That's a sign of strength.
Exactly.
The world now...
Not to play with him.
Not to play with them, right. So you just don't do anything. As soon as Trump was out of office, what happened in Israel? Bombing and fighting started again. You know, Ukraine and Russia and China and Taiwan and Hong Kong, the whole world is going to shit right now. And as Trump says, what is it? What do you say? Woke goes to shit. Everything woke turns to shit. Is that what he said? Something like that?
Yeah, something along those lines.
But that's what we're seeing now happening in real time, which is crazy. Speaking of China, I want to talk about the DNA tests. So what a segue. So you told me your mix, let me see if I could do this, Native American Ramapo tribe.
Ramapo tribe,
Black,
African American,
Puerto Rican,
Syrian, and Puerto Rican.
It's a beautiful, beautiful mix. Yeah. Have you ever had a DNA test?
Never. And the only reason why... The reason why I haven't done it is I have a lawyer friend that said, don't do it. You'll forever be in the system with your DNA. So if you ever commit a crime, your DNA, like if I killed somebody or something, like I'm going to get caught because I'm giving them my DNA. It was a big joke, but I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it eventually, but I haven't done it.
You're going to kill someone eventually?
No, I'm not going to kill someone eventually, but I'm going to do the DNA ancestry one day. My sister has done it, and she came back 34% Asian.
Really?
I think Filipino.
So if that's your sister, then you would be 34%.
Filipino.
Yeah.
So you're probably a third Filipino.
Yeah.
Much like our wonderful Tara Shapansky from the Polish American Brotherhood.
And my grandmother looks Asian. Like all my sisters, they all look like they're half Asian.
I can definitely see
it. And for a while, I was like, we have to have Asian in us. And it makes sense because my grandmother's from Puerto Rico, but you know, the history, they say with the Filipinos migrate into Puerto Rico and the Spanish and so forth. So I can understand where that percentage comes from, that 33% of Asian.
Well, the reason why I was bringing that up because these
Adam,
DNA
you
tests.
had the DNA test done.
I did it here in this room, actually, my DNA test.
Did you come back?
I'm like 40% Native Mexican, I think, or like 50% Native Mexican.
Did you know that already? Or
I assumed I was 100%, but but I was like 50% Native Mexican, Spanish too, because obviously Spanish came and conquered Mexico as well as the Philippines. So I had some Spanish blood.
Spain.
I also had some Guatemalan blood, but similar landmass to Mexico, I assume. And then I also had 5% black.
Really?
So 5% African American blood, yeah.
Does that mean Adam gets the N-word pass now?
I don't know.
That is never okay.
You know, so in rap music, a lot of times they'll use that word with the A at the end, right?
Yeah.
I would never use the word. I never use any version of it. I don't care to. I don't want to. Many years ago, one of my friends, for some reason, it came up when we were at a bar in New York City, and he asked the black bouncer if I was allowed to use that word in the context of a rap song if I was singing along.
Yeah.
You know, like the Biggie song, if you don't know, now you know. I never sing that. I always go silent during that song.
Yeah.
But the black bouncer said I can use it because I'm of a brown skin color. Do you is that true, you think?
You know what, with that word, it's it's a lot of controversy behind it because I feel like if you have a problem with that word, it shouldn't be used at all. I am a firm believer in that. But because of where it came from, we get the pass because we are of color. Yeah, we can use it.
So I can use it.
You can. You
Oh,
can
yes.
use it. Yeah.
Can Grayson use
Like,
it?
no one's going to look at you crazy. No, they're going to look at him as like he's crazy.
I'll
Like
put on-
he's out his mind. He's a
Yeah,
racist.
I'll put on some blackface and then.
That's very racist.
You just double down the racism, Grayson. Can Tara
Yeah.
use it?
No.
Because she's white adjacent.
Whether I can or not is just something that's not going to be in my vocabulary.
Yeah, I just personally,
Even-
I never felt comfortable saying it.
Yeah,
and I
I
don't
think
want to.
even if I was of of black culture or any slurs within it, I think by using it though, it normalizes it and makes it in a sense okay.
Exactly. It's contradicting what you believe if you're against it, and I have to practice that myself, because even in my music I use it, and like now I'm practicing on trying not to.
So you've made songs that use the word?
Yeah, I'm using the word, but I'm using it to where it's like almost an embracing. Like,
right.
It's crazy. Like it could be negative. It could use negative or positive, but it's wrong. It comes from a very dark place, you
right.
know? So I do believe, like, my father, he didn't care who you were. He did not like the word whatsoever.
Yeah, respect to your father.
You know, he didn't use it at all.
I'm personally I'm very pro freedom of speech, but then there are just certain words that I think are so triggering or have such a history behind it.
Exactly.
And to me, that word is one of those words.
It is.
So
Definitely
even in privacy, I won't even say that amongst friends. I won't even say it as a joke. It's just not in my vocabulary. I don't feel like it's my right to say it. And I remember there was a comedian I saw, and he gave a great example. He said, let's say there's a song by Missy Elliott or Lil Kim. Someone on the stream said you look like Lil Kim a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's say Lil Kim had a song, and in the lyrics she was like, yo, lick my C-U-N-T. I would not sing along to that lyric because it would sound weird coming out from a man's voice. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. So that word, it's hilarious. So one time, I didn't understand what C-U-N-T meant. I didn't know, but it's very offensive.
It's very offensive.
Very offensive.
Yeah,
but
I don't use it.
Saying B-I-T-C-H to me versus C-U-N-T, I'll get more offended.
By the B word.
By the B word versus the C word. But someone else told me, no, the C word is worse.
I think the C word is worse.
It's worse.
I
but I wasn't raised around that type of, inappropriate, slang. So I just learned what that was.
Because in Australia, they say the C word like every other sentence. It's just part of their culture and language or vernacular to have it.
Offensive word.
To have it there.
Offensive.
It's a pretty offensive word.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember one time when my brother called me that. I went nuts.
Your brother called you
That
that?
was the first time and the last time I ever
I
used
wouldn't
that
be
word around
bothered.
me.
If someone was to say that to me, I would not be bothered. I'll be like, okay.
What about like the expression "she's a bad bitch"? Like, is that okay? Like, because that's supposed to be like a compliment.
It's a compliment. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is a compliment.
For me,
but
I'm
it
not
does get
offended by
annoying
the B
too.
word.
You said what, Tara?
For me, I'm not offended by the B word. So it really just depends on your audience, who you are, and then just knowing your audience and never trying to intentionally hurt a person.
Exactly.
You know what's
How to use
interesting?
it.
The word bitch means a female dog. Right? Isn't that what it directly? That's what
Yeah.
it translates to. But
I
would never call my two dogs two little bitches. It just sounds weird to me, even though that's the actual
They
proper
are
usage.
two
I've heard you say
They
it.
are.
Yeah, we
They
do for
females,
tongue in
yeah.
cheek for Cloud and Raindrop. We refer to them sometimes as clown and what's it called? Tongue in cheek humor, though.
Maybe
So.
it's tongue in cheek humor. That's right. So back before we got out of the segue, we were talking about the DNA test. So
Yes.
you plan on doing the DNA test at some point,
Eventually.
Grayson?
Yeah, I think your
let's talk
lawyer
about
friend
that.
is right. And just like he's right, you're going to get in the system. I don't know if you're going to commit a murder. I don't think you
I
will.
hope I don't.
But every single DNA test goes back to China. 23andMe, Ancestry, and every smaller DNA test, they go through a company called BGI, and that stands for the Beijing Genomics Institute. So when you get that and you send your genetic data, it gets sent over to mainland China, probably Beijing or some other facility around there, and they put it into a big database for the Communist Party, and they use that data to promote and just build bioweapons.
Whoa.
See?
So
Whoa.
have you heard about this?
We've had
No.
hearings in 2019. I think the Senate, they had hearings about it. It wasn't very well attended because there's only a small minority of them, where they were discussing these Chinese papers that came out saying that the Chinese Communist Party is using the genetic data from 23andMe and Ancestry to develop bioweapons specifically targeting certain ethnic groups.
Wow.
So this is where it gets scary. They
That
believe that
is.
the next phase in warfare isn't just going to be biological terrorism, which may or may not be COVID. They think that it could be ethnically specific bioterrorism. So that means that you could release a virus engineered to only affect, for example, Caucasian DNA.
Yeah.
So that way the Asian, Blacks, Latino populations
Will be affected.
won't be affected or affected less.
Okay.
And this is the theory that he's talking about, why they're using our DNA and sending it to China. And I did notice that when I took the DNA test, it said your results will take 6 to 8 weeks. And I was always like, why does it take so long? If it's, a DNA test, you just get the sample, plop it in the machine, here are the results.
Yeah.
It's because he's probably right. It was going all the way to China. And that takes a long time to do that.
That's something new that I learned.
What do you guys think about like with COVID tests though? Because for instance, Adam, when you were given a take-home COVID test and then you had to Bluetooth in the results, and then when I took a take-home COVID test that was just picked up at like CVS, I didn't have to like Bluetooth in the results, but the ones that are free, you end up Bluetoothing in those results. And a couple of my friends and even my mom mentioned to me about the free ones that are being given out by Biden's gonna like send 500 million take-home COVID tests. Like, what do you think is happening with sending in those results, and why is it necessary?
Have you taken a COVID test before?
I took a at-home COVID test. I'm gonna say about 3 weeks ago.
Positive, negative?
Positive. And then 3 days later, I did the prick on my finger at urgent care, and it came back like I was never exposed.
So you're negative.
Yeah.
I was negative. So that was,
You recovered incredibly fast.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Did you have symptoms?
No, I didn't have no symptoms.
Oh my
None
goodness.
at all.
This whole thing's a
I didn't have
freaking nightmare.
symptoms.
That's like Crowder when he was taking it, he came back positive, negative. Sometimes like the threshold is turned up like too high for what
the
they're
cycles
testing
on the
for.
PCR cycles.
Yeah, the PCR cycles
so they
are
can
too high.
they can capture everything if they want.
Grace, I want to ask you what are your thoughts on when they're Bluetoothing in these COVID tests? Is
I think
it
it's
necessary?
sus. It's real sus, because if you take a pregnancy test, you don't need to Bluetooth that in. You get the results right there. Why do you need to Bluetooth in the results, right?
They're doing something with it.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
sending it all the way to China for bioweapon or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing with the COVID test, but it's real suspicious.
Look,
Yeah.
I honestly think it's just for, I'm saying just for, this is a terrible thing. It's for tracking purposes. They want to, get it on the phone, Bluetooth. They get my device ID. Now they can track me wherever I'm going out in the real world. That's what they're doing. He's a positive case. We know where he's going. We know where he's been.
Do you think it's maybe they're taking our genetics the way they're taking the 23andMe and putting it into this bioweapon?
It's a possibility. Who knows? I mean, the U.S. government's already been caught multiple times over the decades doing really dark, horrible, evil stuff to people. So, I mean, the Tuskegee experiments, you have up in the Pacific Northwest, they released a whole bunch of nuclear radiation. A bunch of people in Oregon got cancers and they denied it for decades, and it just goes on and on and on. So they could be up to some really evil stuff. Who knows?
That's crazy. Asia, do you trust the government?
I don't trust nothing I don't know.
That's good. That's a good answer.
Yeah, I don't trust nothing I don't know.
Yeah, he was talking about the Tuskegee experiment. Are you familiar with that?
No.
It was black men were being exposed to syphilis, the virus, and the government was knowingly giving it to them, and then wasn't telling.
That was like back in the day, right?
This is back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, and it wasn't telling them that they were, being injected with syphilis.
Syphilis, yeah.
And then they weren't treating them, and they were just kind of monitoring them for
I
years.
thought it was Native American.
You know what?
It
might have been.
Whatever. It was something. It was yeah.
There's more than one.
Syphilis, yeah, the syphilis one was Tuskegee was with black men, and there's other ones that have been done with Native Americans. Grayson, do you know of any others?
Not off the top of my head. I have to research it again. I know I did some papers in college.
Okay.
It's been a long
I was
while.
asking you because you're a resident Google.
Oh, I could just Google it right now. Evil stuff the government's done
So
to
where we
minorities.
were going with this? They was injecting with the syphilis, and
Yeah, and these black men did not know that they were being infected with the virus, and then the government was just like doing it to monitor and track them to see the effects it would have over like a 40-year period.
That's
and these
crazy.
men were never told like you were given syphilis, like you have this virus inside of you. And I think syphilis. What are the long-term effects of that? I was thinking chlamydia in my head. I know chlamydia can render
Does
somebody
syphilis,
infertile.
like grow in your like genital areas, like
Yeah, I think something like that. Tuskegee experiment. Here we go.
Syphilis kind of makes you go crazy over years.
It makes you go, yeah.
What did the Tuskegee syphilis study violate? It violated basic bioethical principles of respect for autonomy. Participants were not fully informed in order to make autonomous decisions.
And it makes you go crazy too?
Non-maleficence, participants were harmed because treatment was withheld after it became the treatment of choice. And justice, only African Americans were were recruited. As at Tuskegee, the concussion. Oh, they're talking about concussion experiments. But the bottom line is that's what happened. So there's a lot of distrust in the Black community when it comes to the government. A lot of
betrayal.
Because of the betrayal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mistrust in the Latino community. There's a lot of mistrust by a lot of Americans against their government. And so it's interesting to me when the government comes out with this free vaccination program and then basically wonders why so many people don't want to take it.
And then you don't know what you're getting injected with.
Because think about the history.
Yeah.
For the government to think that they could just come out with the vaccine program and all of us would willingly take it, what were they thinking?
That's the thing also with bodily autonomy. You know how what's it? The Pfizer vaccine had human fetus cells put into it, and then they were denying or hiding that, and they didn't want that fact coming out because there are legitimate religious objections to having fetus cells in the vaccine.
That's right. And just to make sure that we add our messaging, always consult the WHO or CDC for countervailing medical views. And what Tara was talking about was cetal cell lines were used in the development of the vaccine. So to some people that are religious, that's a problem for them. They want to have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
And the fact that these people are being forced or they're being ignored and their issues are being denied, to me, is so messed up. Mm-hmm. Like we're heading to a dark place.
Can I make a hard pivot?
Make a hard pivot.
I'm going to get a hard pivot away from this just because we're on YouTube. I want to go back to the music and talk about some of that. What inspires you?
That's a hard pivot.
Yeah. So I think the culture in New York, music, growing up, it's just like we love music. In my household, you're talking about when you're cleaning, cooking, you hear music. So I gravitated to it. Just my whole upbringing and how my family, friends, and just growing up in New York, how we just love music. We love dancing. And it's just my personal experience with music that has me gravitating to music. So,
who are some of your favorite artists?
So as far as singing, I like Faith Evans, Tamia. Rap, I can go with Remy, Little Kim. It's real, it's real short, my list.
You don't like Nicki Minaj?
I like Nicki. I like Nicki Minaj. I do. I listen to everybody. I mean, I like country, so I like
country?
Kane Brown and Sam Fisher. But he's not like he's like pop kind of country a little bit. But I like music. I can even listen to music that I don't even understand the words, and I'm gonna jam to it. I'm like,
what's your most popular song that you have?
Oh, right now, my first song that I showed you on YouTube, on Facebook, Hard Way, that went viral. That
on
was
Facebook?
like that reached like almost 1 million views.
Let's pull it up, Adam, so we can show the whole thing of it.
Yeah, let's pull up Hard Way. Here we go.
So I went viral on Facebook with Hard Way, and that was just a stepping stone. Like that was just me trying something, and the feedback that I didn't think, I wasn't expecting to go viral, no nothing. I was just getting my feet wet with the music, and it did very well.
And you write your music?
I write my music, yeah.
And where is the studio you film all this at? Like record?
I record at Plush Studios, which that's in Winter Springs, and then I have an engineer. His name is Matt, where he actually comes.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I have some projects that I'm working on right now with my and now I'm missing you. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to move on to another, but he just ain't you.
Sweet.
And now I'm stuck on you. Ain't gotta face the truth that I was just a fool. I
We met a few artists. We know Best. Have you heard of Best Believe?
Before we get into it, could turn the music video down just a little bit because you guys are competing with the song.
Hold on, how do I do that? Tara, is that on my end?
I got it.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Do you know Best Believe? He's a rapper.
I know Best Believe. Best Believe knows me.
So he's on the Trump train too.
Oh, really?
And he does a lot of. He does some pro-Trump raps.
I know that. Yeah. He does.
With Forgiato Blow. Mm-hmm. So we know him too. And what's his name? I always get so confused because we got Grayson Arnold on the show. Bryson Gray. Bryson Gray. Do you know him?
I don't know who
Bryson Gray. Okay. Bryson Gray did a "Let's Go Brandon" song.
Oh, okay.
You know "Let's Go Brandon"? That means the one I had. That means F2O.
You actually told me that, enlightened me the day I met you. Yeah.
So what's crazy is Bryson Gray made a song "Let's Go Brandon."
Okay.
It was #1 on the charts.
That's insane.
He beat Adele. So when you look down the top charts in the world, it was Bryson Gray #1, followed by Loza Alexander, who also did a "Let's Go Brandon" song.
Yes.
They both pushed Adele down to #4. These are independent, conservative rappers with no record label, no funding, and they became #1 and 2 on the iTunes tracks. And these are two black men. And I think that that's so freaking incredible.
Yeah, that is incredible.
And you didn't even hear about that in the media.
No.
Because guess what? They support Trump. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it is
Think about Jeremy Lin. Remember the Asian basketball player Jeremy Lin when he made it big in the NBA?
Oh, yeah.
It was a front page story everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me that you have two unsigned black men beating Adele.
Representing Trump, and it's a problem. So
Nothing.
they're not giving it no attention.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But this is a beautiful video. Where'd you film this?
Somewhere in the country, Deltona somewhere, I believe. I don't remember. But
Deltona.
Yeah, I think it was Deltona or D-Land, something like that.
Oh, not Benel?
I don't know what that is.
No, I was dating a girl from the country of Benel.
Benel?
Benel is right above DeLand and Deltona. It's like super country.
Oh, that's probably where I was.
You go there, you'll see trailers. It's apparently where there's a lot of meth labs.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it was good content for the video.
Oh yeah, no, that's a nice video. How'd you get these actors? Was it like a casting call?
This is funny. So, the actors in the video is my little brother that's playing my boyfriend, the one that I'm doing wrong, and then the other one is my good friend Jamila.
Oh, that's so
it
cool.
was just a friend supporting me in something that I visualized.
That's amazing. Well, if you ever need a Mexican for your videos, I look pretty good without a shirt on, so we could do that.
I will keep that in mind.
Yeah, we could do that. Well, thanks for sharing that video with us. And if you guys want to go follow her on YouTube, it's Asia Bella right here. Let's get her subscriber count up, guys. We got to hit 1,000 so that we can she could brand it.
Exactly.
Is that the number, Tara? You need 1,000?
It's 1,000. Yeah, it is 1,000.
I'm just going to subscribe right now to encourage everybody else to.
Yes,
I
go
hit the sub
subscribe.
button and I hit the notification bell. Don't forget, you got to hit that notification
bell. Here we go,
bell
guys.
also.
Oh, what is this? I don't know what happened. It took me to a new screen. Click the notification bell. Yeah, it's not working here. Whatever. But anyway, guys, add her there and make sure you also add her on TikTok. So, closing thoughts on everything that's going on in this country. How do you think we get this country back on track in the near future?
We need to get Joe Biden out.
That's right. Are you hoping that Trump comes back in 2024?
I am hoping that. I do believe he is, but hey, we shall see. I feel like after everyone seeing what's going on right now, they don't want no Biden in office right now.
Or Kamala Harris, that lady, wicked witch.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you love Kamala though? Because she's a female person of color like you are.
I can't lie. I am happy as a woman. Like I'm very big on women power, So I am proud of her being in her position and stuff like that. Am I agreeing with the decisions that are being made? No, but it's nice to see a woman that high in power.
That's true. That's pretty balanced. That's a pretty balanced, view. And after the show, you're going somewhere special tonight, right?
Yeah, I have a date night.
Oh shit!
I'm dating. Dating is really, really, really fun.
What's your type of man? Like, what kind of man are you into?
I don't have a type. I used to think I had a type, but I guess when you get older, you don't have a type anymore. It just goes like
Whoa.
I'm telling the truth right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
You gotta try them all.
You know, you don't. I don't have a type. He has to be a nice guy. You know, I'm big on chivalry, respect, tradition. You have to be a guy that's family oriented. You like taking care of home. You're a protector. Open my door. Know how to send me flowers without me asking. You know, it's just simple, down to the simple things. You know.
Sounds like Grayson. Sounds like Grayson Arnold.
Well, this is a lot of good advice that women tend to learn about later in their life. And do you think that this would be good advice to give to younger women?
Yeah.
Like just starting out, maybe like you're 18 into your early 20s and they're making mistakes.
You have to look for a guy that's a gentleman. You know, when you first date somebody, they always show your best, you know? It's what they're showing after that. Like if it's consistent, it's a good person. I was once told, you judge a man on how he treats the women in his family. His mom, his grandma, do they have a good relationship? If he does respect the women in his family, especially his mom and his grandma, there's a chance that he's going to be really, really good to you. And I believe that.
Do you think men with sisters are good to date versus men without? Do you think that's
they're
helpful?
Good brothers, you know. There's some brothers out there that they're not good role models. They don't protect their sisters. But then the ones that protect their sisters, look out for their sisters, and like act almost like a father figure. Yeah,
that's good advice.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good advice. Well, guys, you guys got any closing thoughts on that side of the table?
I am very happy that you came in here, Isabella, because that music, I've never heard it before. I didn't do any research before this, and it's actually pretty good.
Thank you.
So I want to check it out after the show since you guys kept talking through the whole thing.
I thought that was like a cool vibe, you know, got the music in the background.
It was cool, yeah.
That was cool.
You know?
That was cool.
Tara, closing thoughts from for the Filipino sister?
The Filipino sisterhood.
Yeah, exactly.
The Filipino American sisterhood.
We
Yeah,
might
since you
be
guys-
cousins somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Just to piggyback off what you were saying with judging men, my brother actually calls it the representative. The representative is going to be showing themselves for the first 3 months. So yeah, you want to look for consistency in the way that they're going to be treating you after their best behavior is out there.
Exactly.
So absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on to the show. We greatly appreciate it, and we greatly appreciate you being our first in-studio guest.
Yes,
You brought us some good luck. We actually, guys, we didn't have any technical difficulties during this show, and we've been having technical difficulties every single night with something different, but you brought us really good luck. Thank you for joining us in studio.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. And Jeff James, one of our viewers, said that you were beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
So we just got that.
Thank you.
We just got that in the comments.
Appreciate it. I had
Awesome.
a lot of fun.
Well, thank you again, Isabella, for coming into our studio. Really appreciate you being here. And as always, guys, you guys could find this podcast on Apple eventually, Spotify, as well as the TNAshow.com. And we're going to be coming back a few days a week, do live streams with you guys. So we appreciate you being here. Follow Polish American Brotherhood, follow Pure Politics, follow Isabella, and of course, Adam Francisco. We will see you guys next time.
Right. So long.
Goodbye, my friends.
All right.
Get vaccinated. Wear a mask.
Look to the CDC for
Social
the official narrative of life.
Social distance.
6 feet.
6 feet.